Thanks very much for watching. We are just from celebrating the National Guidance Counseling Day in our country under the theme Guidance Counseling and the Promotion of the Entrepreneurial Mindset in Schools. But now we mix up many things here, because when we are celebrating this, many people get away with the impression that a bike rider, a student who leaves, say, university and is doing Okada, what we call Okada in town, is an entrepreneur. No, that is not entrepreneurship, all right? And then you look at someone who is doing call box around town, they call him also an entrepreneur. No, these guys are not entrepreneurs. And I will explain. Actually, there is a difference between being a professional, being self-employed, being a businessman, and finally being an entrepreneur. These group of persons are not the same. It is true that their activities are interrelated, all right? But most people end at the level of being professionals. They don't even get to the stage of being self-employed, talk less of being businessmen, not even to talk of being entrepreneurs. And these stages you must go through, or in other words, it is very necessary to go through. It's not because you need a child today that you have a child next month. All right? You know what I mean. You must go through the natural process before you can deliver a child. And so it's not because you want to eat groundnuts today that you can plant groundnuts today and harvest them today. So it's not because it's not because entrepreneur or entrepreneurship or the entrepreneurial mindset is necessary that we should start talking about the end without talking about the process. An entrepreneur has to do with being creative, adding something new. It's not about repeating what others are doing. If I see people are riding Okada in town, okay? Now, if I buy a bike today and I start doing bike riding, if I become an Okada, I'm not an entrepreneur because I've not changed anything. I'm just doing what others are doing. I'm not creative. All right? I'm not creative. That is being self-employed. I'm not creative. Now, for you to be an entrepreneur, you must be creative. You must add something new to the market. You must add something new. You must add value. You must add value, something unique. If you are an entrepreneur, it means that you have been able to create something new and you have introduced that new thing into the market. And because an entrepreneur must know what it means to be a business person, you must also have the business skills, the art of buying and selling, the art of leverage, which means letting others do what ought to have been done by you. Let me take, for example, this guidance counseling and entrepreneurial mindset is being spoken of in schools. Now, in schools, teachers use chalk. And we already know that, this without any publicity here, we already know that rubber color is good. Now, if as a teacher, you know that rubber color is good, yet it's dusty, they're not comfortable with that. All right. Now, if you, as a business person, you can go and buy this rubber color because you know that that is what teachers want. You buy it and come and sell to them. You're a businessman. But now, as an entrepreneur, you identify that this chalk is dusty and the teachers are not comfortable with this. We need to look for a solution to this dust that comes out from this chalk. Now, you can go and meet those who produce or those who manufacture rubber or color and those who manufacture chalks, and you talk with them that produce a chalk that has the quality of rubber color, but that is not dusty. At that level, when you do that, you can now call that chalk with quality of rubber color, but not dusty. You can call it a sulfur color. Now, when you call it Isofa color, you are now an entrepreneur. You have introduced something new in the market. Now, if you come back with this Isofa color, you will agree with me that from the beginning, teachers will be reluctant to buy because they don't know Isofa color. They'll be asking themselves, what's Isofa color? What's Isofa color? All right. You realize that they will be reluctant to buy. You will now need to convince them to be able to start using Isofa color. And when they use Isofa color, they'll realize that it has the same quality with the chalk they were using. But this time around, it has an advantage that it is not dusty. That now is an entrepreneur. That is an entrepreneur. But if you go and buy this rubber color and come and decide to be selling it beside a school where teachers will come and buy from you, you are self-employed. Because the day you are sick, your activity gets frozen. If you decide to go and buy this rubber color now in bulk and supply to those who are selling, you are a businessman. Because you are a businessman because your money is now working for you, but you have not added value to your activity. But if you now decide to go and contact those who manufacture colors or manufacture chalk, such that instead of them manufacturing rubber color, they should manufacture a different type of chalk now that is not having the disadvantage of rubber color. That is why you must also know what the disadvantages are and what the market is. This is what we should be talking about. So entrepreneurship is all about adding value, being creative, being able to start something new.